Wow, what an interesting situation I have found myself in this evening. For the first time in a long time, I haven't had to do any calls of an evening, and I was starting to wind down and just be really present with myself, and I just kept getting this huge download. And for anybody who's been listening to me for a long time, you will know that I have been saying, guys, we need to pick our timeline. We need to decide our timeline. You need to make a decision which timeline you're going to. And today it's been like a constant flow of people need to pick their timeline. So I'm here at like 9:15 in the evening. I never film this late for a reason, because normally I'm like buzzing in the morning and I get all of my inspiration and, you know, I get all of my downloads and everything in the morning. However, they are not going to let me go to sleep tonight until I've got this out of my body. So here I am with a chamomile tea in my hand, and I'm just taking it completely easy. I don't know how long this video is going to be. All I'm going to do is just share some information that I have been shared with. Okay, so first and foremost, we are currently living in a timeline that was actually intended for 2024. We have shifted so significantly. Literally, we're jumping timelines right at this precise moment in time. Now, what that looks like is all of this stuff that we were supposed to be cleansing was going to be done in a few years' time. However, because the planet is awakening, the people on the planet are awakening at such a huge, significant rate right now, we're actually stepping into stuff that we envisaged for 2024. So people keep saying to me, Lucy, when's this going to happen? What's that going to happen? Like, give me dates, give me timelines. And I can't anymore. I literally cannot give specifics. I mean, we shouldn't give specifics anyway, right? But I can't give a specific guidance anymore. People are asking me about certain dates, and I know the feeling that I've got about that date, but I'm not prepared to say it because we could just jump that. The world is waking up so fast. Honestly, Mother Nature is rattling right now, and the humans are really coming alive with, you know, I can only speak on behalf of the UK, but we're seeing more lockdowns be put in place at the moment, and people are starting to uprise. People are starting to, you know, I can feel, particularly in Liverpool at the moment, I can feel the energy rising there. It's not going to take much before they pop. Go on Liverpool, that's what I say. I never thought I'd say that, but go on Liverpool. As a Chelsea fan, I never thought I'd say that. I love your city, by the way, but you know, football's football, come on, let's be honest. So what I wanted to do tonight is I just wanted to jump on and just speak to you about choosing your timeline. Now, if you are somebody who is buying into the fear, buying into the panic, buying into the hate, buying into the nastiness and bitching and all the rest of it, please know that you are choosing your timeline right now. You are. Whether you're intending to choose that timeline or not is irrelevant. You are choosing that timeline. That timeline is not going to serve us going forwards. The timeline that I have been seeing and that I have been living since February, I remember I was speaking to somebody who is extremely passionate about, you know, everything that's going on at the moment back in February, March time. And I said to her, you have to pick your timeline, because the timeline that you're talking about and really living in at the moment is what you're actually going to be living. So we need to be mindful of this, because we are such incredible conscious beings of light. We are making our decisions. And I don't mean 80% of the time you're doing this and 20% of the time you're doing that. No, you need to be making a conscious decision every step of the way. Am I going to give this person that's bitching or whatever, am I going to give them the energy? If the answer is no, awesome, you're sticking to your timeline. If you're just like dipping in and just throwing a couple of tidbits in their direction, no, you're flicking between timelines. You do not want to be doing that right now. Like I say, I really feel December of this year is going to be huge. The next 3 weeks, I'm recording this on the 13th of October maybe. I feel the next few weeks are going to be huge, absolutely huge. There's going to be a lot of noise. I feel, I've been talking about this for a very long time. I feel as if we're going to have a big boom, if that makes sense. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be in the shape of, you know, an area in the UK kicking off and saying that they're not going to be locked down. I don't know what this is going to look like. I actually thought a couple of weeks ago it might have been one of the protests that were taking place that could have kicked off the next ripple, but it didn't. So I know that there is something that is going to go imminently, which is going to create a second lockdown. It is going to create a second lockdown. And I know, you know, oh, Lucy, that's obvious because of the country, like some parts up north are having that initiated from like yesterday, I think. So, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a global lockdown. I'm talking about everywhere is going to get locked down. That's what I see, that's what I feel. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying to you, when that happens, we're closer to the end of this. That's why I wanted to talk about this evening. That's why they want me to talk about this. You have got a decision to make. What decision you make right now is going to basically pan out what the rest of your life is going to look like. So like I say, if you're flicking between timelines at the moment, trust me, you want to make your mind up and make a decision. Because if you're flitting between, you know, some of the stuff that people are trying to scare you about and all love and light and positivity, please know you could end up on the wrong side of that timeline. It's really important. Make sure that you are going with the higher vibration right now. We're not going to save everybody. And that really pains me to say, because you guys know what an empath I am. I literally feel people's pain. But on top of that, I am, you know, I'm here for humanity. I'm here for the children. I'm here to help everybody rise up. And this is what I'm really struggling with right now. I'm kind of like battling myself constantly because I want to take everybody. But do you know what? If people don't want to listen, if people think I'm crazy, if people think, you know, I'm speaking about this stuff to incite fear or something, then, you know, I can't help those people. You know, I've been sharing since February constantly. I mean, there's probably more that I could have done, but I have done a lot since February. Constant. Even before February, every single week I would probably do 2 or 3 Facebook Lives. Now I'm doing them daily. Now I'm throwing YouTube content up like a couple of times a week. You have to make a decision on your timeline. You have to basically say, right, I'm going to vibrate with the love vibration. And no matter what happens, no matter what stuff gets thrown at me over the next few weeks, the next few months, I'm going to stick with that love vibration, because you don't know at what point that switch is going to take place. And I literally do feel, I posted something in my Self-Love Club with Lucy Davis group today about timelines. And it was a really, really great picture of what I see. It was like two worlds had kind of been pulled apart, and there was a frequency running between them. That's kind of what I see. The way I've been explaining it to people, hang on, let me just put this down. The way I've been describing it to people is that this is planet as we know it today, and then there's going to be an outer planet. That's kind of what I see. This one is going to stay at 3 dimension. This is going to be anger, hurt, fear, vaccinations, virus, blah, all that stuff. And then there's going to be this outer one, which is where the higher vibrational beings are going to go. Now, I want you all to know I don't have long for that to take place. I literally see December, January, at least by the end of Q1 2021, I see that happening. Like I say, timelines can shift constantly at the moment. I never thought that we would be where we are right now at all. I didn't. I thought that things were going to be sorted a lot quicker. But now I know what I know, it's absolutely the way that it needs to pan out. And it's just fascinating, because if it had been sorted in the way that I think my human wanted it to be sorted in a much shorter period of time, actually we wouldn't have taken the wisdom. Actually, we wouldn't have got the mass awakening. And that's what we need. We need 60% of the planet to be woke. At the moment, it's about 50-50. I spoke with one of my mentors yesterday, and I've been feeling for a long time it's about 50-50. And she just said to me, yep, you're right. She said, everything that you are channeling, you know, you're running past me and you're validating it, but you're right. So the reason I'm doing this content, and the reason I have been doing this content for a while, is to just awaken the last few. You know, please, if you know somebody who is really living in fear right now, share this video with them, because by dropping into your heart space, by allowing the flow, by knowing that everything is going to be okay, that this is a movie. That's the best way I can describe it right now. This is a movie that we're watching. We're watching it all pan out. But we are literally the lead character in it right now. If you think of the best blockbuster that you've ever seen, it probably feels a little bit like what's going on right now. So if you are completely blown away and you're like, I don't know what to do anymore, like I thought I was okay and now we've been locked back down, I just, you know, I'm losing the will to live with this stuff, just hop into my free group. I've got a free group on Facebook. It's called Self Love Club with Lucy Davis. In there, I do lots of content. I do lots of videos, I do lots of posts every single day, and there is such a beautiful starseed and light worker energy in there. Like, we will look after you, we will make sure that you are okay. You need to make your decision for your timeline, and make the decision now, not in a week, not in 6 months' time, because that could be too late. Remember, all of the lower, where I see where we're going, like the higher vibrational people, all of the lower vibrational stuff that is normal today, alcohol, drugs, that kind of stuff, it's not going to exist in the new world. And you might be thinking, oh God, that's a bit boring, but you won't need it in the new world. You won't need to suppress yourself in the new world. If you make the decision on you, if you make the decision that you want to be love and you want to be light and you want to heal and you want to know all of the inner wisdom that you've just forgotten since you were born as a human being, you need to be making the decision that that is your timeline. It's incredibly important. Honestly, if I was doing this as a live right now, all of my members would be like, she's been banging on about this for a long time, you know, listen. This isn't for me. I know where I'm going. I know the path that I am taking. I absolutely know where I am going. But what about you? What about you and your family? Can you surrender and learn to trust in the next few months that everything is going to be okay no matter what gets thrown? And trust me, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Can you surrender and just really tap into your divine heart space and say, we've got this. Love is where I want to be. Light is where I want to be. Our ascension on the planet at the moment, human beings are being upgraded so significantly because when we go to this higher vibrational earth, let's call it that, you know, we're going to need to be vibing higher. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to cope with it. That's why so much darkness is coming to the surface right now in the shape of viruses, in the shape of, I've seen something today, somebody shared with me that the government have lost like billions of pounds during lockdown. Like, there's so much money that hasn't been accounted for, you know, but the government, oh, well, we don't know, we've lost it. Like that, all of it is coming to the surface for a reason, because you need to find your voice and say, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this, because it is abuse. It is abuse. What's taking place right now is abuse. And you can either stay with this timeline by being abusive, by being abused, you know, being abusive to people. Oh, you know, judging people because they're not doing what you're doing. Pushing your fear on people. That is a lower vibrational frequency. If you are living in that right now, and trust me, there's a lot of people that I know that are living in that right now, that is where you are going to stay. And I don't want that for you. Like, I don't care what anybody has said to me, what insults have been thrown, what nastiness has been spoken. Trust me, I don't care about any of that. I want you guys to make the right decision for you and your family, which is why I'm stood here at nearly 9 o'clock at night doing a video. Or it probably is 9 o'clock by now. I don't want to be doing videos at 9 o'clock at night, but you know what? My soul is saying to me, Lucy, these people are relying on you. So I'm stood here. Trust me, I'd taken my earrings out, I'd taken all my crystals off. You probably noticed my ring's not on my finger. And I'm doing this because I know it is a huge part of my responsibility on this planet is to help you awaken. I'm asking you to trust me for just a little bit longer. This is all going to pass. We are going to be okay. Huge shifts are coming for all of us. Please, please decide your timeline. Do you want to be on the side of love and of peace and self-healing and be open to all of the gold and wisdom that you don't even realize that you've got within you? Or do you want to be held where you are today by financial constraints, by fear, by panic, by dis-ease? Because where we're going on this side, dis-ease is going to be healed just like that. Make your decision and really pick it wisely, because this won't be coming with us when we go in this direction. And there will literally, my best way to explain it to you, because I'm very visionary, I get visions, I don't really get told specifics of how it is, but I get shown how it's going to look, and there's literally going to be a divide of the lower vibration and the higher vibration. Which is why somebody very recently said, oh, that's a bit mean, why aren't you helping the lower vibrational people? And I'm like, I'm doing the best I can with the lower vibrational people. If they don't want to come with me, that's okay. I'm not going to judge them. You know, and this isn't about me, this is about us as a collective sticking together, because we're precious. I'm just here as the vessel to remind you of that. I don't know why they picked me to channel these messages this lifetime, but they did. And I'm okay with it. Pick your timeline wisely. You are literally being faced with a choice. Do you decide to stay, go with the positive and go with the love, or do you go with the lower vibration? Trust me, you need to be living it all day, every day. Not, oh yeah, I'm all love and light and posting on social media as if I'm love and light, and then behind closed doors you're nagging at your ex-partner and you're moaning at this and you're whinging about yourself and stuff. That's not going to work. It's not congruent. Figure out what it is that you want. Manifestation is on point right now. I know this isn't a manifestation video, but manifestation is on point right now. What used to take 6 months is taking 6 hours. So be really mindful of that. What you are doing, the way that you are behaving, the way that you are speaking, the way that you are thinking is absolutely impacting your life. And quite interestingly, a number of people have been shedding away from me recently, and I know it's because they're the lower vibrational people and they're not coming where we're going. Do what is right for you and your family. Trust me, the kids that have been born after 2000, they know best. Honestly, they know best. They have more wisdom than most of us. We need to listen. We need to trust them because they have messages for all of us. Please make your decision wisely. I hope you're coming on the timeline that I'm going to. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Choose your timeline wisely. Much love.